Let's go ahead and get these routers neighbored up with the ASA. On the ASA, let's use a different key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the interface. I'm just going to call this ASA key. And then back on the ASA, we actually need to get message digest authentication configured. We'll use key ID 2, ASA key. Here we go with our neighboring up on R2. And R1 still will not be neighbored because we have not configured that key on R1. Now, if we wanted to, we could set them up with that same message digest key, and R1 will also neighbor up. So across an Ethernet network like this, unless you're trying to do like some weird, point to multi-point type of a thing, where you might see this as across a frame relay link where you have a multi-point frame relay interface, and you want one interface to authenticate to a peer with one key, that same interface to neighbor with a different peer using a different key. This would be an example of when that would be something we might use. So let's look at the ASA. First of all, our neighbors, we got them both there. Our database, which is our link state database. Remember, the link state database is sequenced. And we always make sure that we're on the latest sequence number of link state information. Get rid of any debugs there. Look at our database on R2, which has area 0 and area 101. Look at our OSPF routing table. We could also just do a show IP route, see all of our routes, but you can see it makes it a little cleaner to look at when we use the filter or when we use that optional switch. Let's see if we got all our routes over here, and we do. One other thing that we might see within our EIGRP topology are routes that are redistributed in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into interface loopback 5, pull that out of area 101, go into OSPF 1 and redistribute connected subnets. And that should be enough to bring in an E2 route for 105. So again, just showing you the differences, some different looks that we might see there with OSPF. We can see now we've got an E2 route for 10.0.105. The reason that's an E2 route is because it was redistributed in. Okay, so I think that'll do it for our basics of OSPF and doing an MD5 authentication between routers 1, router 2, as well as ASA 1.